Hello, this is Scott Bogren, Communications Director for the Community Transportation Association of America. It is Friday morning, May 4th, and I am here to give you an update on what is happening legislatively with the Surface Transportation Reauthorization. Since we last spoke, a good bit has changed, although we don't know right now how much it's changed or what that impact will be. But for many of the doubters out there, myself included, we have been proven wrong in that a conference, a House-Senate conference, seems to be taking shape on the surface transportation bill. This is good news. This has to happen in order for us to get passage of something. So the question right now is, where are we? Well, the Senate has its passed bill, S 1813, which is available at our reauthorization central site to take a look at, and we've provided a lot of analysis on that bill. And they enter into the conference with that bill as what they want to negotiate from. The House was unable and continued to be unable to pass H.R. 7, but in an interesting move, they did pass in a bipartisan fashion a 3-month additional extension of the bill of current law of safety lieu, and attached to it 2 important additions: the Keystone Pipeline, which is going to come up as a very critical negotiating point, and the Restore Act. This extension and these 2 acts that have been attached to it are also available on our reauthorization central site for you to take a look at, and is really an extension of, for the most part, of current law, with some changes to environmental streamlining within the current law and these other 2 acts. So they enter into the negotiation with that language. So those are the 2 pieces that, given a straight conference committee, would be discussed. There's a lot of discussion here in Washington that there will be certain aspects of H.R. 7, which is also available on our reauthorization central website. There's a lot of thought that some pieces of that will also enter into the negotiations from the Republican side, and certainly from the House Republican side. But that really remains to be seen. So that's what we enter into this conference committee. And the conference committee begins next week, Tuesday, May the 8th. And it's a public meeting that where the different conferees, a list of whom is available on our homepage and also on the Reauthorization Central, a list of these House and Senate conferees is there. They will all discuss kind of, I think, their public stance on how and where this is headed. There's a couple of key deadlines that will impact what they're doing that I also wanted to go through. One is the current extension of safety lieu is through the end of June. Okay, that has been agreed to by the House, the Senate, and the President. The House is brought into the conference an extension further to September 30th. The Senate has not agreed to that yet, nor has that been signed into law by the President, but that kind of sits out there as an easy way to extend this another 3 months if they need, if this conference committee seems to be moving. What most of us think is going to happen here is the House Republicans are going to try and attempt to negotiate what they have certainly with the pipeline and the Restore Act and some of these environmental streamlining that they're bringing into the conference. They're going to want to see what they'll have to accept from the Senate Bill 1813 in order to get what they want. And that's going to be, if there's going to be compromise or discussion, that's really what's going to center around. And I think we should know fairly clearly within the first couple weeks here whether or not any of those negotiations have any possibility. There's been some signals sent out recently. Senator Durbin, a Democrat from Illinois, has sent out a signal recently that yes, perhaps they should discuss and there should be some compromise on the Keystone Pipeline, which seems to be the key issue. But we really just don't know how any of that's going to play out as of yet. We'll continue to be talking to the right offices and committees and leadership over to give you the latest information. We should also just bring in the fact that appropriations, which are also ongoing, will have an impact on this as well. From the appropriations side, the Senate has passed its appropriations for transportation and for transit programs at a flat but fully funded level. The House appropriators have not marked up anything yet, but they're kind of sitting on the Ryan budget numbers, which is 36% cut. And the general consensus is that they're waiting to see how this extension or how the conference committee discussions and negotiations evolve to kind of inform how and when they will put those appropriations numbers out. So a lot of things at play, and will continue to be at play. And really, we will be covering this. My Twitter feed, CTMag1, will give you all the updates on what happens on Tuesday and anything that happens in between. We'll keep the Reauthorization Central page, which is getting a lot of hits, with as much information on it as we can to keep you up to date on all of this. And the last really thought I'd like to leave you with is just remember, we are now basically talking about a one-year bill. Even if we get this authorization and it somehow moves through this conference and it starts to move forward, what we're really talking about here is something that will have to end September 30, 2013. So the time frame for this in terms of the window is very short, and even if it passes, it's a one-year bill, so work will begin almost immediately and is already underway in many ways in what comes next, because it's what comes next that will hopefully answer the funding question and a lot of the other questions that have kept us from having a sustainable long-term reauthorization of transit programs, and instead have kept us into this period of extensions, debate. We've never dealt with the core issue. And even if we pass this, we won't have dealt with that core issue yet. So thanks for tuning in. We'll keep you up to date as much as we can. As always, feel free to call me, 202-247-1921, or shoot me an email, bogren@ctaa.org. If you have any questions, happy to help with anything that's come up. And again, I hope everyone has a very nice weekend. Thanks.